For today's recipe, we are making a beautiful stuffed bread with cheese and linguiça, Portuguese style. It's something that you can share with your family and friends. Everyone, we're back for another video, and today I'm going to be making a stuffed bread with cheese. It's a cross between stuffed bread with cheese and a cheese dip, right? You're going to need some linguiça. Linguiça is a chouriço, right? It's Portuguese. I'm sure you can find it in a Portuguese store anywhere around you. It is a little bit smaller than the usual chouriço. I'm using 3 of these, very finely chopped. I'm going to be using 1 big green onion, finely chopped as well, some mayonnaise, and about 400 to 500 grams of cheese. I've got here flamengo and mozzarella. Mozzarella is good to mix with any type of cheese because it does melt very easily and it tastes wonderful. The cheeses aren't, you don't have to use these exact cheeses. You can use a mix that you like. You can use more than 2, you can use 3 or 4. With this type of dip, you can be creative. You can add onion, very finely chopped, oregano, just be creative with it. Okay, so we're gonna open a lid on our bread. So roughly, because this is a long bread, right, I like to do a square lid, and be careful not to go too further on the edges, because if you go on the edges, the bread won't hold your cheese inside, okay? So let's see how we are doing. Another little bit here and there. Okay, now we have to go in with our hands, but be careful when you do this so you don't ruin your bread. Okay, you want to take this out of your bread like that. Okay, so that will be your lid. And with this bread, you don't throw it out, you're going to make toasties out of it. So just roughly chunks, just take some chunks out of the inside of your bread, like so. Okay, and you're gonna do is take all the inside of your bread, your breadcrumbs, you're gonna take it out. Again, do it in chunks so you can toast it and use it as toasties later. You don't want to throw bread out. Okay, so let's do that in a whole bread. Again, be careful not to crack your bread. Okay. So I'm gonna run my hand through it, make sure that I've taken all that I can out. Okay, so what we have is a nice boat, right? Because my bread is long. You can use round bread, it's fine. It doesn't have to be a long bread, just as long as it's a hearty crusted bread, okay? So let's go and make our cheese dip to fill our bread with. With your cheeses, you got to be mindful of the amount of cheese to the size of your bread. So if you've got a big bread, you probably need more than 400 grams of cheese. If you've got a smaller bread, you probably need less, okay? So be mindful of that. To this, we'll add our linguiça, okay? And our onion. And our mayonnaise. Again, our mayonnaise, it depends on the cheese. I have a 500 ml bottle of mayo, which I usually use about half the bottle. I mix it in and then I see if I need any more. So let's fold this together. Okay. So as you can see, you're gonna need a lot more mayonnaise. So let's add a bit more. and you just fold it in so everything is covered with mayonnaise. See, look, if I do that, you still have a lot of cheese that's not covered with mayo, so you need to fold it through so that everything gets covered in that mayonnaise. Again, also it depends on your liking of mayonnaise. I like mayonnaise, so I like to add quite a bit. I'm actually going to add a little bit more mayonnaise to mine. And I've used almost 500 mils of mayo. But again, this all depends on the quantity of cheese that you are using. So our cheese dip is almost done. Once you've done your cheese dip, you need to preheat your oven. So that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to preheat our oven. I'm going to put my oven on. Okay, top and bottom. Mine has a fan. And you want to put it to about 160 degrees and you let it get warm before you put your bread in. Now that I've preheated my oven to 160 degrees, I'm going to go ahead and fill my bread so we can put it in the oven, okay? So now to fill our bread, we're just gonna get our filling and we're gonna put it in our bread, okay? So just make sure you push your filling to the corners of the bread as well, like inside it, so you can get everything in. Grab a bit and then just keep pushing it to the sides. You've got a bit of filling, so we're okay. Push in the pockets inside the bread. Okay. We keep adding our filling until everything is inside the bread. Okay. So once you get all your filling inside your bread, you're gonna put a lid. Okay, that's perfect. We're gonna put our lid that we kept from the beginning, as you remember. We're gonna close our bread. And we're gonna do is, we're gonna cover it with foil. Why? Because this is gonna go in our oven for about 30 minutes and you don't want your bread to burn. So you're gonna cover your bread just roughly, and you can put this on your oven tray and leave it for about 35 minutes in the oven. So we're going to put our bread in our oven tray like that with our foil on. I haven't forgotten about the breadcrumbs, okay, so we're going to leave that for later. When we take the bread out, it's going to go back in again without the foil for about another 15 minutes, so that's when you put your breadcrumb in. So for now, we're just going to put our bread in our oven. And we're going to wait for 30 minutes. Hi everyone, so 30 minutes have gone past. We're going to check on our bread and see how it's doing. Let's take the foil off and our lid. And as you can see, the cheese isn't quite melted yet. It's not fully melted. So we're going to put it to 150, our oven. We're going to add our breadcrumbs to this and we're going to pop it back in the oven. So like I said, we're gonna add our breadcrumbs. Just put it in your tray. So while your cheese is finishing melting, you're toasting your toasties. Yes. Again, this isn't enough bread for the cheese that you have in there, so you can buy some extra toasties and then add to it, so people can scoop up some cheese and add it to their toast. Or if you have some stale bread at home, you can cut it into slices, toast it, and it'll be good as well, so you don't have any waste. So let's pop this back in the oven. I'm putting it in a low shelf so you don't have the heat right on top of it. You just want to slowly taste it. Remember, it's 150 degrees, so it melts slowly. I'm actually gonna put it one slot down, and rather than leaving it for 15, I'm gonna leave it for another 30 minutes. Now we've taken our bread out of our oven and we're gonna plate it up. Okay, it's pretty hot, so I'm gonna start with the toasties first. Okay. With our lid, we don't need it anymore, so we can just cut it into pieces and add it to our toasties. Alright. My bread is pretty hot, so I'm gonna use my spatula to get that there. There you go. Alright, you guys. So here you have it. My stuffed cheese bread. Enjoy with a glass of wine and your friends. This is fantastic. It tastes wonderful. So if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more videos, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.